Okay. Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji.
Yes.
You can you do Srimad everybody please follow?
Namo Vitragaय.
Namo
Namo
Vitragaय.
Vitragaय.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo
Namo
Siddhanam.
Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayaryanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo
Vajjayanam.
Vajjayanam.
Namo Loe Savasaunam.
Namo
Namo
Loe Savasavanam.
Sabbatam.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso Panchanamukkaro.
Sauvapavapanasano.
Savapavasanam.
Manglanam cha Suvesini.
Manglanam cha Sarvesam.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Padvam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand Mahatma. Okay, last time we left out saying that we'll look at one of our weaknesses and do Purusharth on that. Anybody wants to comment on the weakness and the Purusharth?
Yes, I will tell about it.
Okay, Kashyap bhai.
Jai Sachidanand, everyone. Jai Sachidanand, Niji, Jai
Jai
Sachidanand.
Sachidanand.
This one helping me a lot, that Deepakanandji told that the world is my projection itself. So before I used to get growth, inside when something is not agreeable. So or someone is I feel is not doing right. So, but now Deepakanandji explained that world is the projection itself. So even I last week I heard about in the audio, Dada is saying that when he's sitting, that when anyone comes with a fault and he has to remove that fault, so Dadaji says that what led is questioning himself, that what led the person coming with that fault to coming to him, So he does, and he said he does Pratikraman for that, for that he has to encounter such a situation. So that means that all the Parmanus which is coming to us is our own creation. So that is helping, that understanding is helping to deal with growth, especially inside which comes, but it is helping to deal with that.
Very wonderful. Pulinanandji?
Very right. Very right. Basically, the growth or anger that erupts, that happens when we feel something, injustice is happening to us, or things are not going the way we want it to be, So there we get the right understanding that it is our own projection, and it is a result of whatever causes we have laid in the past. So as a result of that, we see the other person as non-doer, as independent non-doer, independent non-doer. It's non-doer, but it's not independent. It's only an instrumental doer. And hence, if we see him as a non-doer, we see him innocent. And if we see him innocent, then there is no point in getting angry with the other person, because we are responsible for what has happened with us. That is a perfect understanding. And that self-talk also will help. Talking to file number 1, see, you have done something like this, or must have done something because of which you are facing this. So calmly, peacefully, accept what is happening. So
And
once
what
that,
about Pratikraman for the Sanjog that Dadaji clearly said that he does Pratikraman for when person with the fault he comes to them, because he says that I have supported this, that is why this person came to me with this fault. So there is some support. This is what he said, last week audio.
let me understand. Who comes with what fault? Whose fault?
A person comes to Dadaji who has some fault, and Dadaji has to remove his fault.
No, fault means what?
Fault means that he has some problem. He has some problem. And he has to show, Dadaji has to show the Mahatma, this is your mistake which you are doing, and this is how you correct. So this
Okay.
he has to guide. But for that, he says that why I have to meet this Sanjog, because I had supported this before, so that is why I am facing this. So this is what he said.
Hmm.
For that he does Pratikraman.
Okay. So in case one is able to trace the root cause of the suffering which he is enduring now, if he is able to whatever suffering he is enduring.
Usually when someone comes to us, and for guidance, we feel some kind of man also. We feel that we are getting an opportunity. We like, but I think with this understanding, Dadaji has countered the man also, that this is not something to be you feel proud of, but something to see that he has supported this mistake, and so he also has a stakehold in that,
See, as far as Dadaji is concerned, where he is in the role of just guiding the person, of helping him find out his own fault. So there it is all right that he shows him the root cause, and then maybe if he's able to find out the root cause, then he does Pratikraman for the root cause, that I did this mistake, hence I've got this suffering. And as far as the second part of feeling proud, that is called Garvaras in Gujarati. Taking pride in that I have guided someone. So there, it is true for all of us. Everyone experiences that sometime or the other. So there, it's very clear that we are only instrumental, and he has come and because of our karma. We have some light, and we should just share that with him. We are only an instrumental and not the actual doer. So that Garvaras portion, that pride portion, as you mentioned, will not come up. Will not come up. Somebody may praise, did a good job, good cooking, good work, good activity. Then you must say, there's so many scientific circumstantial evidences have come together, and this thing has taken place. So
You see,
when so many
we do anumodan of some fault. So so this I understood, that if we do anumodan of some fault, the fault doesn't come inside us, but it comes in front of us in someone else. So the fault is coming to us, indirectly somehow.
that will happen. That will happen. Whether we make a mistake ourselves or we do anumodan to someone to do the mistake, suffering will come, definitely come. Karyu karavi ne karta pratyay anumodyo. To do the mistake, to ask someone else to do the mistake, or to encourage someone else doing the mistake. So all three, or support someone who has done the mistake. All three will have a bhogavata or suffering. All three will have suffering. That's true.
Yes, Sachin.
Yes,
Anybody else to talk about the weakness, your own weakness? Shailaben, did you have a chance? Okay, Miraben.
Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji and Rajni Kaka and all the Mahatmas.
Jai
Jai Sachidanand.
Sachidanand.
I wanted to tell you, after last Tuesday, I really looked at why my biggest cachet right now is I'm not staying in the present and my chit is moving. So this week I focused on being focused, on just telling, if my chit is moving someplace, I tell it that you need to come back to the present and stay in what the action that this body is doing. And I also told the same to my mind. My intellect sometimes will say, "Yo, Meera, you're doing this, but you have to go and get this done." And I'll tell my intellect also, please stay. We all have to be mind, speech, body has to be in one. So that has actually helped. And also, understanding, and it focuses on the understanding that Shuddhatma is separate from mind, speech, and body. So from that perspective also, it assists me in watching what all these parts of Meera are doing. And Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, because you gave me great hope. Now I'm actually focusing more on each moment, each single moment, and focusing on what I'm doing. So Jai Sachidanand, thank you, Pulinanandji, for that.
Yeah, that's true. Basically, our chit is all scattered over here and there. It's not in the present. It's not where the body is or in the actions the body is doing, and not in the present. That is, it either goes in the past or it goes in the future. So by being aware and bringing it back is a good Purusharth. And when you are, that is basically you're trying to remain focused. So that focusing basically enhances the Jagrati or awareness. And that awareness now helps you in being watched, file number 1. That awareness that what Meera is doing or file number 1 is doing, it helps you to be an observer because of that. So we should all be doing that. We should all be doing that. And try to decide to remain in the present, decide to remain where the body is, and be an observer. So the observer status will come automatically if the chit is there, And sometimes if that doesn't happen, too many thoughts coming in between, then one of the other Purusharths could be slow down whatever activity you are doing.
Okay. Okay. Understood.
That will help a lot.
Only do one thing at a time. Slow down. I'll also do that.
Slow down is a very very useful thing, because sometimes in the rush you want to do things fast, early morning, getting up, doing breakfast, putting the pot kettle on the stove, and then even doing a little bit of breakfast and this and that, and when you're in hurry mode, then that sometimes you lose track of that being focused or the awareness. But if you just on a bit, not very much, a bit, then automatically you'll be very focused. The chit will come where you are.
Okay, I will do that this week. I will slow down.
This panic doesn't happen to everybody, but typically the culprit behind this panic is our buddhi or intellect. It wants to quickly finish things. So that quickness results in losing the focus, So what we slow down, that it is an antidote to the intellect, and slow down. And one small Purusharth or a technique that the Bhagwan is given in this is that at times we get up late. For example, we have gotten up late, and our daily routine is I get up, I do X, Y, Z, say exercise, say breakfast, say bath, and then quickly go for my work. So it is the daily routine, and for some reason we have woken up late and we have less time to do all this. So we are in a rush. We want to do things fast because get out of the house at a predetermined time.
Mm.
In that time, at that time, Dada Bhagwan has given a very nice thing that you make haste, but slowly make haste. Make haste, but slowly make haste. In Gujarati, he says, "Utawad karo, pan dhime rahine utawad karo. Dhime rahine utawad karo." So you tell yourself, do quickly but slowly. So what happens is the hands and feet, they work fast because that is to be done. The activities have to be done hurriedly or at a little greater speed. But the mind and the intellect is not in panic mode. It is not in hurry. So dhime rahine means be slow, that is to the intellect, and do fast, that is to the body. Dhime rahine utawad, be slow, but be haste. Make haste slowly. If I have to translate, make haste slowly. So the haste or the speed will be in the actions, but not in the mind or the panic level. It's a very powerful tool, and it does work very well when you're squeezed for time and you really have to do things fast and move out. So that makes us do the things fast without being in panic mode, and that will also help in being focused and in being in awareness state of file number 1.
File number 1.
Being observer of the file number. That will help in that case also.
Make haste, but slowly. I'll do it.
It's a wonderful. It's a very wonderful. Actually, some tools given by Dada are really very practical and very effective.
Jai Satchidanand Pulinanandji, thank you. I'll do that this week for sure.
Yeah, that is this is to be used when you are in a panic mode, not otherwise.
But sometimes in the morning.
When you are squeezed for time and you have to really, do something in that specific time frame at that time. Not always.
In some days, Pulinanandji, it feels like always. So I will focus on that topic this week. I will focus on that.
And share your experience next week.
Jai Satchidanand, definitely.
Jai Satchidanand. Elizabeth?
Jai Satchidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Satchidanand Deepakanandji, and Mahatmas. I have a couple of questions. One is, to look at my Kashyas, do I need a provocation to be aware of it? I mean, the sanjog that brings it out, or just retrospectively I can pull it up? That's one. And the second question is, I read in one Aptavani, Dada has said, the mind is a compressed photograph of your past life. So I want you to expand on that, please, both of you.
You see, if I may start off with the second portion first, compressed photograph of your past. Mind is the compressed photograph. Basically, the word used is it's a summary of your past opinions, basically. Because what is mind? Essentially, the thoughts that come out from thoughts that come from our mind in the present moment is a result of the opinions we have given in the past, previous birth. Wherever we have given opinions and voiced out those opinions in some language, So, as you said, opinion is the father and language is the mother of mind. So it lays the seed of the mind, the thought, lays the seed of the thought. It's called Sukshma Man, and then it comes as Dravya Man or Sthul Man in the next birth. So thoughts that emerge today are the result of the opinions we have given in the past. So based on the thoughts that are coming today, we can guess what our opinions we would have formed in the previous birth. No, essentially it talks of the major ones. Supposing a person has too much thoughts about how to save money or how to have more money or more things, then it's a reflection of the greed that he would have, opined in the last birth. That I want to get money. Or thoughts on pride, or thoughts on Vishay, or thoughts on anything. When there is a very large number of thoughts coming on a particular topic, then we can find out that you must be of this opinion in the previous birth.
Okay.
Some people are of a very generous, magnanimous attitude, They enjoy serving people. They enjoy giving serving good food to guests that come to them and all. Serving the guests in a very nice manner, and they are very lavish in their treatment and spending money and all that. So then he must be a very noble person in the past life. That any guest you should really take good care of it. The opposite end could be he's a stingy person and is not very free with his money or with his food and other things. So that's the opinion you would have formed. Take a selfish sort of thing, to be concerned about our own needs and our own welfare. Don't care so much about others. So Dada Bhagwan had said that you can make a graph of your mind and to see what type of thing you would have been in the past. So what he said, for a week or so, just observe that throughout the day, which are the large number of thoughts that come to you, large number of thoughts on which topic that come to you. That's not that first I'm getting more thoughts on this topic, say pride, then on money, or then on health, or whatever. And do it for a week, and then based on the volume of the thoughts or number of thoughts that come, that is a large knot you have in your mind on that topic.
Okay.
So those were the opinions of your past birth. Some people are very, noble and royal. They just give, they're spendthrift, and some are very stingy, So that says you must be that type in the past, or you might have opinionated of that type. In that way, today's mind is a summary of the previous birth, the opinions of the previous birth. And we would have opined or given opinions in the past birth based on whatever understanding we had at that point of time. In the previous birth, whatever situation or circumstances we were in, and whatever understanding we were having at that point of time, from wherever we are. Based on that, we would have formed opinions, If, for example, now that I've got Dada, and then I will say, now I want to go to Moksha. So that is the type of opinion I'm forming now. Forget Atma. Supposing I had got a divine master at that point of time. So based on the inputs I've received from my, say, elders, my parents, my neighbors, my surroundings, my school teachers, and circumstances, I would have formed opinions. So it's a summary of the situation you were in at that point of time and the opinions you gave at that point of time, which is now popping up as thoughts in this birth.
Okay.
So in a way, that is how one can trace back the type of person he was in the previous birth.
Correct.
It is summary.
Okay.
Just this is additional piece of information. For us, it is in the present birth, it is all discharge. So we just have to square it up. Only thing it helps us in reversing those opinions which are not suitable or healthy for our progress towards moksha. So we
That's
could do a
correct.
reverse opinion.
Because, just hearing some people's names just gets your blood pressure up. Just some people, when you hear them, or you just have loving emotions towards them. So I can see that, those are opinions that pop up, because of the interactions in this life and the opinions you found in that life, there's some people who you have to tread on ice around them because they're just so prickly. So
There one more dimension comes to it. This was only at the mind or thought level. What you said is also true, that whenever you come across people, some people you gel across very well and very comfortable and comfortable being in their company and interacting with them. Some you have to be very careful, or you don't gel much. That vibrations don't come. That is because of some either our Runanubandh or some hisab, number one, or number two, we have formed a design. These are good people, these are bad people. Such people I'm like, such people I don't like. I mean, people with this type of a personality trait, I'm comfortable, or they are good people. And this type of people or people with this type of personality trait are not good people. So whenever it doesn't form in my definition of good people or as a personality trait, then I will be uncomfortable in their presence.
Correct.
it's called Potaponu also in Gujarati. You know, our design of the way things are, or the way people should be, or my likes and dislikes, basically. So there, that dimension of likes, dislikes also, and Potaponu pops in. So that is an indicator of what likes, dislikes we have charged, which is making us comfortable, uncomfortable in such company, which with today's Gnan we can square off by seeing Shuddhatma number one, or considering that this file has come and let me amicably settle with this file, file no Sambhavanika. So these are two present agnas which will help us in nullifying the ill effects, either rag or dvesh, both, So that is the answer to your second question. The first question was something about Kashyas. You said that when the Kashyas pop up, what did you say, please? Can you
No,
just
do you need a provocation to see the Kashai, or
to see the Kashyas?
yeah, that particular, or you just have to, like you said, go through all your thoughts and pick out, what Kashais you have.
You see, Kashay, whenever a
I
Kashay
mean,
takes, Kashay
like,
means
like in an instant, I interact with somebody, I get mad just because I have very strong opinion about them, and all those opinions come out all negative, So but they're not in my radar on a normal basis, so I don't even think about them. But it's just like when you have an interaction with them, you immediately all these opinions pop up. So do you need like a sanjog to set that off, or?
No, it is helpful. The sanjog or the circumstances that when you meet a person whom you are really upset or mad at, that really tells you that you still have this Kashay within you, inside you. See, otherwise I may be very normal and a nice person, but when I'm pressed into a hard corner or I'm caught in a troubling situation, then my real character will pop up, whether I'm upset or take it cool, or whether I get abusive, violent, disturbed, whatever. So you're right. Situations are helpful in discovering what lies within us. What Kashai lie within us, they are definitely helpful and are needed also for them to surface. For the Kashayas, or in your case, as you said, extreme contempt, disgust, all those things, likes, dislikes, severe likes, dislikes, for example. So situations are necessary so that whatever is within does surface up in my speech, thoughts, or actions, and makes me realize that I have still this type of stuff deep down within me.
Okay.
It is
That's what
very
I wanted
helpful.
clarified.
It is helpful. It is helpful, and I would say necessary, because otherwise it won't surface. Otherwise it won't come up. It will come up at its own time. I mean, we don't know when. So when you are, it is helpful, and then this leads to the process of self-discovery. We discover file number one and what are the plus and minus points or the negativities in terms of kashais that are dormant within me, which need to be cleared. So it is useful when they surface up, and then it gives us a scope or a homework or a scope for improving or squaring of those kashais or managing those kashais so that they don't disturb others and me also.
Yes.
So it's definitely, it's a process of self-discovery, the self-discovery of the weaknesses, which anyway have to be cleared. If not now, tomorrow, or in the next.
Okay. Okay.
It is
Ranji?
Yes.
Hey, Sachidanand, first of all, we had to understand that now that we got separated from our mind, speech, and body as pure soul that we are, we come to know that Lalita is sum total of past lives, ignorant projections, which were made by that ego at that time. And now you are freed from that ego, that I am Lalita, which was falsely claimed in the past lives and new projections were made. So now, whatever circumstances you come across, you have to check whether your mind gets aligned with the prevailing circumstances or not. And if it is not, then there will be a revolt, there will be a clash, there will be something will pop up inside. Now, for that, it need not be a situation with my instrumental presence. What it means, it need not be a direct interaction with me as individual. Like, for example, if someone narrates his or her situation, and my mind start blowing out, then I come to know that, oh my God, I'm just listening to someone else's story and my mind is popping up. So I get that opportunity that this kind of stuff is there within my mind, and I immediately do Pratikraman. Because then when I will come across a situation directly, then this thing will not be there. Do you understand that?
Yeah, okay. So that's indirectly I'm getting agitated, and so I should do Pratikraman at that time.
Yes, so it is like you get an opportunity to see your relative self, how it is, and you just pick that situation and clear that off.
Mm-hmm.
It is like when you are listening to someone else's situation, someone else's story, and Lalita gets irritated, Lalita gets agitated. Hey, wait. Because it's like, you will immediately confront and say that if it happens to me, I'll do this, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Get that? So it's
Yeah.
like it's a great opportunity for us to see the relative self, how it is. Even when it is listening to someone else, this is jumping up. Then just imagine what will happen when it comes to Lalita directly. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
So here we can say in a way that Akram Vignan, it makes us perceiver of everything that happens within the relative self. Even before it happens to you, it indicates the state of your relative self. And that is how what Dada has said, a way of Udina. Have you heard of Udina? To burn up our past, our karmas, even before it happens to you.
No,
You
I haven't
understand?
heard that.
Okay, anyway, that's not important, but it's like, see, something has not happened with me.
Right.
But how do I know that I have that stuff within me?
Correct.
So when I listen to others' story, my mind gets agitated.
Okay.
So I get an
from my
opportunity to
reaction,
see
I
my
know.
yes,
From my reaction, I can tell. Okay.
yes, yes. So it's like I listen to someone else's story and I clear myself.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I come across that situation directly, that stuff is already taken care of, like 60 to 80%. So what is left will pop up.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. Yes.
So
Thank
what
you.
you said, you need provocation to check your kasai. This provocation need not be your own instrumental cause. It could be
Okay.
someone else's story also.
Okay.
And what Dada had said, he said he would always grab such a situation where he gets challenged. So he will not try to run away or hide himself. If he gets a situation, he puts himself into it and say, let's check. Because he wants to free himself. His goal is to free himself. Did you get that?
Yes, I did.
So it's like it is not important from which end things come, whether it is direct interaction with Larita or someone else's situation. But you get the opportunity to see your clashes inside and resolve them, clear them.
Okay.
So when eventually if it comes to you, then it has almost mellowed down because you already cleared those agitations.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, I'm ready for it.
Yes. So we have to be vigilant all the time. You have to just listen to someone's story and someone's information and your mind starts jumping. Oh my God, I said, I'm just listening to someone else. I mean, my relatives gets irritated, agitated. Then it's a great opportunity that I get and I immediately clear that off. Correct?
Yes.
That is number one.
Okay.
Number two, we have to always keep checking our mind whether it gets aligned with the prevailing situations or not. If it is not, then I will have differences, I will have clash, I have various other opinions. So if my mind differs from surrounding or the individual I'm dealing with, there is something seriously wrong with me. So immediately I come to know that this is the mistake. Because what it means, mind becoming time bound, like, so it is a samay varti, whatever it is said. So whatever is the prevailing situation, your mind will display that only. We get problem when your mind starts popping up things different from the prevailing situation. So that creates a lot of agitation. Why like this? Why like that? Do you understand?
So what do you mean by aligning
No.
my mind with the current situation?
Well, no. What it means, okay, I am dealing with you.
Right.
You come out with some opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and my mind doesn't agree.
Right.
So what does that mean? My mind is different from yours,
Correct.
which should not happen, because then it's what it means. My opinion is different from yours. I will definitely have clash if I stick on to my opinion.
But is it not, I mean, my question is, you don't have to agree with the person, but you can be polite and just go along with what they say.
No. I really, some words got missed. Can you come again?
See, like, if I don't agree with what you're saying, I mean, like, my mind is not in sync with yours.
Yes.
Okay. I can just not argue. Is that not a
That's a different story. What it means, that's a level of acceptance has come.
oh,
You are vigilant.
okay.
You are vigilant about your opinion, and you don't clash with the other person.
Okay. I'm not imposing my
You
opinion on the other person.
yes, but we like jump onto others, pounce onto others when things differ from our belief,
Okay. Okay, I got it now. I
and
got
we
it.
somehow try to make them believe what our opinion is,
Yes.
what we believe,
Yes.
and that is where clashes come. And when that doesn't happen, so what it says, difference of opinions are bound to be there because people have come from different surroundings, different past situations, and now that you are with each other. So now, how can you expect opinions to be same or nearly, I mean, which align with each other? No, it won't be there. And when you stick on to your opinion, what it says, what it means, you are not accepting the other person's opinion. So now you're sticking to your mind. So what that I said, difference of opinions are bound to be there, but it should not happen. What it is called man bhed should not happen. If you stick on to your opinion, then you are going towards that man bhed difference at the level of mind, and you are sticking onto that. And then that separation, divorce is bound to happen soon, which we cannot afford. As an individual who is seeking liberation, you have to cleanse yourself and see that your mind gets aligned with the situation, because you have brought those opinions and you get that opportunity to see your differences and clear your differences, eliminate your differences. You understand?
Yes.
And it's a great challenge because it's very easy to stick onto your opinion. And if your, if your temperament or nature is very powerful and very strong, then you somehow make believe the other person. And you feel, even intellectually, people can manipulate and make other person believe what you believe. And then enjoy that day, see how I made the other person on my side. But it is very dangerous for your liberation. Because that person will come to know in future, anytime, that I was manipulated and taken advantage. You understand?
But people do try to put their point across and try to convert you to their point of view. you know,
Yes.
even though you may not agree with them. So
Yes,
you just have to say
yeah,
you're
yeah.
right and don't argue, correct?
Do not accept the other person's opinion. You can share your view that if it is like this, it is better. But you don't
Okay.
do that way. You have to just want the other person follow you.
Correct.
And
Correct.
just for information, wherever that ego factor is there, and with if that ego factor is with that cunningness,
Mm.
then that person can very easily manipulate other people towards their opinion and get things
Oh.
done. But
Mhm.
here, the path of liberation is what you don't allow your opinion to get expressed. You see, whatever situations you come across, you see that your mind don't differ from the others, and wherever it differs, adjust yourself and cleanse your mind.
Okay.
Because the situation outside shows, I mean, how do you say that? Situation outside shows uh, your karma, but your mind is not it's not aligned with the other person, the situation. And that's
Okay.
where clash will come. And if you stick on to your mind, it will blow.
Yes.
Then that adjust everywhere is at the level of mind.
Mm-hmm.
And when that adjustment is at the level of mind, outside behavior and speech will follow naturally.
I remember Dada gave this very simple example of full moon and new moon. He said that the other person insists it's a full moon on a new moon day. You try to explain to him once or twice, and then after that you say you're right and just move away from that.
That is good, but many a times at home and in very close relations, this is a very common problem. That's why with the difference, any difference is a red light towards our liberation.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is. Whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because like what Dada has said, our state of experience is ultimate. And we came all the way from top to bottom level. And I have guided people for their progress.
Yes.
And just imagine what level of penance, that inner penance he must have passed through.
I know, poor Dada.
But he never complained because his goal was to liberate people. And whoever came across him, he knew that he's the one eligible for that. Otherwise, he will not come into my interaction. And for that, he put all his efforts. He has grown to such a low level. Pulinanandji, you want to say something?
No, you finish. You after, because the very nice.
Go ahead. Yeah. No, just go ahead. Yeah.
It was a very nice point. So I just thought of repeating only because it's a very useful point that has come out in your discussion.
Yes.
Basically, you know what Dada said, Madbed hoy, manbed na hoy. That is what in Gujarati. So we may have a difference of opinion. That will always happen because prakrutis are different. So we'll have difference of opinion in the house with people or surroundings, colleagues and all. But it should not stretch. That difference of opinion not stretch, that we start differing at the mind level. There's a huge gap or a huge distance between his mind and my mind. That is the caution that the Bhagwan has said. You may differ what it means is, supposing I disagree with your viewpoint today, then tomorrow, and then it irritates me so much that I just put my foot down and say, nothing doing. I just don't get along with person so and so, and I just don't get along, and I don't want to interact with that person. So that is a difference or a big gap or a distance at the mind level, which is called as man bhed. His mind and my mind are totally separate, broken, or disjointed. So let not the difference of viewpoints stretch to such an extent that the minds also are totally separate and they just don't get along and just put a full stop, nothing doing. I just don't want to see that person or see that person's face. So that was a subtle point, Dada Bhagwan. And because if that happens, Dada says, if there is a bhed or difference or a gap at the mind level, then you are making yourself away from Keval Gnan or absolute knowledge. You're distancing yourself from your own Keval Gnan because you hurt someone to such an extent that his mind and you are totally disjointed, then you are also getting disjointed from your own Keval Gnan. Your Keval Gnan will not open up. That is a little extension of not hurting anybody by mind, body, speech. We may have difference of opinion. And as you rightly said, as you quoted that example of that full moon and new moon, if I have to just rephrase and re-summarize that, basically what you're saying is when there is a difference of opinion and somehow there is no common ground coming, so then you just leave it by saying you are right from your viewpoint. You are right from your viewpoint. That means basically we agree to disagree. We agree. So this is a polite way of resolving the difference of opinion so that it doesn't stretch into the mind, the gap or a
Okay.
distance between mind.
Okay.
Huh? Jai Sachchidanand.
Thank you. Jai
Very
Sachchidanand.
good. Very good, Lalita Ben. Okay, Sombai. Tom, go ahead. Your sound is not coming. Tom? No sound.
Hello.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I just want to share one
Loudly go bolo.
sorry.
Speak loudly. Your volume is low.
Oh. Yeah. I want to share one experience actually. Actually, I hear in Canada, I work as a
No, the sound, you need to be much louder.
Here in Canada, I work as a delivery driver sometimes, and
No.
Your volume is too low for some reason.
Yeah.
Maybe your audio jack is.
Is that your earphone? Okay, why don't you Tom, why don't you figure it out? We'll go to Sylvia Ben and then come back to you, okay? Yeah. Sylvia Ben?
Yeah. Jai Sachchidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Sachchidanand Deepakanandji, Jai Sachchidanand Mahatmas.
Jai Sachchidanand.
Last week.
Oh, unmute, please.
Mute.
Okay. I
Okay.
hope you cannot hear me here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So last week, one of the predominant weakness I found or I observed was fear. Fear of that is, I think, that's the Prakriti of file 1. Fear of a lot of things. So and which is all basically throughout my life. I've lived in fear with fear of the future, fear a lot of other things, even small things. But then that I realized was also the cause of like other kashayas like anger and some other kashayas, where actually the root cause was the fear, which was actually triggering this thing. So when Lalita ji was talking about the provocation, I said that is like many times I'm angry. It is all coming back to when you introspect and realize that it's the deep-rooted fear of something that is causing this anger, this kashaya. So how does one handle things like kashayas like anger, greed, or even jealousy, and those kind of things are very evident, and you're able to handle it or you're able to work on it. But how do you handle something like fear? Because this is something which is a part of my file once that Prakriti, right, is coming. It is something. How do you go back and track that, and how do you work with that?
Deepakanandji?
Jai Sachchidanand. First thing, once you get separated from Shailya, then that itself is, it takes you, takes your fear away. Because that minus that comes up, pops up, something with me. And first thing is, Shailya has to pass through this suffering aspect, which is part of her karma. And her speech will definitely get expressed, that anger, the ego, the suffering part will get expressed through her speech and say, I liked it, I didn't like it, it was very upsetting and all that. So here we have to immediately understand that I didn't like it, I got upset. So here you have to say, Shailya got upset, Shailya didn't like it. Then the first separation itself will take away all your fears. Do you understand?
Yes.
And apart from that part, sometimes you have greed, so you want. Shailya wants something. So you can definitely guide Shailya, make her understand that whatever you want, Vyavasti Shakti, the natural, what do you say, this universal natural power is going to provide all what you need, all what you desire. But you don't set your time. The time which is set by the nature, it will come according to that. So certain times, these Amazon people or these people, they say minimum 5 days delivery. So you have to wait for 5 days. But because they tell you beforehand that it will take 5 days, but here from the nature, from Vyavadishakti, it doesn't tell you what is the delivery time. So you get impatient, why it's not happened, and now you start trying all your stunts, manipulation and all other things,
Yes.
which is dangerous. But one thing keep in mind, I'll just narrate one quick example of Lord Mahavira. In his previous life, he had projected, decided that when I renunciate, when I take Diksha, then I will take my first and butchery food with these conditions. And those conditions were quite, what do you say, wild apart, very complicated, which is like impossible. But that all those complicated conditions got accomplished in 5 months and 25 days, naturally, without manipulation, without doing anything. After his renunciation, after his diksha. You understand? So if that complicated desire got accomplished in 5 months and 25 days, maybe our lifetime, maybe 5 years or 50 years or maybe 5 lives. But the law is whatever it gets desired, nature will fulfill at its time. And until then, until it gets fulfilled, it is Shaila's suffering. Ultimately, what happens? You desire and you get it on the spot. That's nature. With Dada Bhagwan has said, because Dada said he got freed from all obstructions, all obstructive karmas. That's why here he doesn't even desire. He gets something in his mind, he gets a thought, and he sees it happening outside. For example, during one of the satsang, Dada he had a thought that it would be so nice if people play Garba. And he sees that within moments, the Mahatmas are moving around him and they are playing Garba. This is one of the examples which he narrated. But because of our obstructive karmas, that is Shaila's obstructive karmas, what she desired, what she thought, things doesn't happen even after putting all efforts. all wild efforts, all aggressive efforts, all manipulations. So that's when you understand that it is obstructive karma of Shailya, you can pacify her. See, if you have desired, it is coming. Nature starts working on your desire immediately you set it. And it is working. You don't set the time, otherwise you will feel irritated, you will feel upset, and you will start doing something wrong against the nature, which will cause more trouble, more obstruction for that delivery. And the other question of jealousy, see, success, anyone's success story is someone's jealousy. Now we have to understand, if Pulinanand got successful in some field, then I must analyze, I must think, oh my God, what efforts you must have put, what dedication, fantastic. So I must, if it is today's his time, my time will also come in the nature, and nature will provide. Now it depends on my decision what I do now. But if I just keep jealous, have jealousy for Pulinanandji, which is wrong. He achieved that because of his hard work. And I don't want to see that hard work, but because of his achievement and the way he was appreciated by so many, he had like so many people praised him. Now I must understand, oh my God, what hard work he must have done, right? So this is how, instead of feeling jealous about someone, better you analyze that how hard work he has done, and I must also start working hard. Then success story will also be mine. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Pulinda, is it okay we go to Soham because of time limit?
Then so maybe we could take the whole thing next time.
Yeah, sure.
So then
Yeah,
just
sure, no worries.
I just briefly just add to what Deepakanand has said. Basically, fear was the crux of what you said, and some of the things that just came to my mind was basically what happens, when we want something to be done, and then we are so focused on the outcome, we give undue importance to the outcome. This must be done, this must be done, and if that doesn't happen, then there's fear popping up. What will happen, how will it happen, what will happen? You want to reach a person at some time, and you have to reach, and if it doesn't reach, then fear starts building up. So one of the things of fear or anxiety is when there is undue importance to the outcome. This is what I want to achieve, this is what has to happen. So second thing is getting your things your way. When you want to move things your way, get things done your way, then that time some things you start manipulating just to achieve that end. And wherever there is manipulation or deceit, whenever deceit is used to get things your way, then fear pops in. Fear is a direct reflection of deceit. And typically it is there more in women because of the deceit of the four Kashyas. Anger, pride is in men, deceit and greed is in women. That means ratio-wise, they're proportionately a shade more. So you can just see whether there is deceit at play to get things your way, where you try to manage. So wherever there is deceit, there will be fear. Then undue importance on the outcome, that this must happen, that what happens, and then you will start thinking, how will it happen? When will it happen? And then all that starts creating anxiety and fear.
Yes.
Sometimes when we are forced to obey elders, when we are a young and child, you must do this. This is how it is to be done and all that. So then we start fearing, what will happen if I don't do like this? What will the other person think about me? If I don't do like this, if I don't obey, if I don't fall in line, your freedom is curtailed when you are made to be over obedient, then that leads to a little bit of fear, inbuilt fear. What will happen if I speak like this? What will people say about me? What will be my impression? So those are also some of the things that can cause fear, where you don't have freedom to express yourself. There is suppression of the self, which on an extreme scale could lead, if a person is having low self-esteem, he's feeling low about himself, then he gets fear. Or if he has less self-confidence, how he will do it, because he has always been dependent on guidance from others. So then that he becomes fearful, So those are some of the reasons, and then you can do the opposite, remove the anxiety on the outcomes, be plain and normal, no need to manipulate people for you getting, because Vyavasthit, you try your level best, Vyavasthit will anyway deliver the results. Okay. So what will happen, how will happen? No, you try your effort, Vyavasthit will take care, so that fear of outcomes will go away. And then as far as what will others say, just see Shuddhatma, say file Sambhava Nikal. So what others say will also not that, because we have this Gnana and Agna, So these are the tools that will help you overcome fear. I just put some of the causes of fear. And if deceit is at play, then you can catch yourself where deceit is causing fear in me.
Yes.
That is one of the things. And typically, jealousy is a result of comparison and competition.
Yes.
When you compare with someone and you feel the other is superior to you in some ways, maybe in looks or maybe in talents, maybe cooking good food or more attractive to others or able to attract more attention. So then that jealousy factor sets in, because everybody is looking at her or him, and then I'm not getting that much of attention,
Right.
So then the jealousy, because we have believed or laid a lot of importance on self-attention. I must be attended. So when someone else gets more of that, then jealousy crops in. So that is one of the reasons, competition. And as he said was that one of the ways to counter the jealousy is that if a person has getting more attention or getting more this thing for his or her good qualities, then you must inside say, may I also achieve those good qualities? May I imbibe those good qualities, or may I achieve that talent or that abilities, Be positive. If he has something more than me, then I must say, ask for strength that may I also be like that. Look at it in the positive way and cultivate your shortcomings rather than criticize and run down the other person in the jealousy process to bring a level playing field.
Yes.
So the positive asking for strength will nullify the jealousy factor. This is a solution to the jealousy. Reason is competition and comparison, and this is the solution. And the fear thing I said. Okay, yes. We can start with Som next time. Som next time, please.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So, yeah, okay. So now time is up. So, Deepakanandji, can you just mantra, please? Everybody follow.
Jai Satchidanand. Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Arihantana.
Namo
Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo
Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo
Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Namo Loe
Sava Sahunam.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso Panchamukkaro.
Sava Pava Pranashano.
Sava Pava
Pranashano.
Mangalanam cha Sarvesim.
Mangalanam Sarvesim.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Oh,
Satchidanand.
Pulinanandji,
Jai
Deepakanandji,
Satchidanand.
continue with
Jai
your Viknas,
Satchidanand.
right?
Jai Satchidanand.
Pulinanandji
Jai
Deepakanandji.
One
Satchidanand.
minute. Mahatma. Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji will move, continue with our weakness, right? Looking at our weakness.
Yeah. We got now 3 new youngsters joining us. So, Krishna, Soham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Yes, everybody.
Jai Satchidanand.